I'm so much more chipper now. I don't know why.
Hey guys,
Hi.
welcome back to the Awkward Squad reviews. We are now reviewing To All the Boys I've Loved Before 3, Always and Forever. If you haven't seen our reaction video yet, you should go see that first. So check it out over here in the eye, it'll pop up. And check out our other reviews and reactions of the whole series. We've been doing pretty much all of the movies this whole month in honor of,
The,
love and stuff.
that and the third movie
Um,
coming out.
yeah, and the
Love.
third movie.
I
I
love how
appreciate
love
that
is
was
in
in
quotes.
quotes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've been doing that. We've been watching all these movies, and now we're finally getting around to reviewing the third one. So, we have our list as always.
Which is
Um,
complicated in the sense that it took us
yeah,
a lot longer to come up with this list than it normally takes us to come up with our lists for the movies. We just have so much to talk about. Like, oh my gosh, we have to talk about this. Like, and then
We just didn't with this one.
Yeah, this one was so hard to come up with.
doesn't have the same oomph as the first two movies.
Yeah, for sure. And
The
I think we
je
all
ne
felt
sais
that.
quoi.
Yeah, we definitely all felt that.
All right, so we are going to start off small, like we always do. We're going to talk about like the weird drawing things and the transition sequences. Um, so if you watched the movie, which you should have,
You probably should
hopefully,
have.
yeah. But if you watch the movie, you might have noticed like a lot of scenes fade in with like a drawing of the setting, and it's in like this quirky like black and white
It's like a
casual
sketch.
style. Yeah, and then like it sort of fades into color and then it sort of turns into real life,
But it's
which
the thing is when you said that, I'm thinking like when you say fades in, it kind of sounds like it's like slowly, but like it happens on a pretty nice time. Here it was like it's
is not.
slow, just straight up slow.
Yeah, I don't really understand the justification for using this
Especially because none of them
style.
draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she
I
was an
think
artist, it would make
it
sense.
it started with like the Korean cafe thing, and I thought initially like that's just the way the cafe looked, and that because there are cafes who like have like little gimmicks and stuff, so I
Yeah.
thought that was like maybe just a fun gimmicky cafe, for tourists to go to. Looked cool. But then it kept happening, and now I don't know if that was like
Real
what
or
the
fake.
cafe was, or if
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like,
So
I can't, like, I thought it was real, like when they were all sitting and it was like that, and I was like, okay, so maybe this is real. But then it just kept going, and I was like, okay,
I don't know, but
not
it was
real,
like
or...
it was really off-putting to look at people in something I couldn't tell if it just looked wrong to have people look like they were in a drawing.
Yeah, I get
yeah,
that.
especially with this movie, it just took you out of it, and you were like, "Oh, this is a movie."
I got the same issue with the transitions. And the thing is, not as much, but it did sort of take me out of it a bit. And what really bothered me is they even had some stuff that would have fit the whole they have a banner hanging in the
school.
high school thing.
I didn't have really an
And so
off-putting issue.
it bothered me that they changed it when they actually had stuff you could justify using what they were using before.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
And
I
so
think they got
changed
the
it just
idea
for the...
that it just didn't work in the last one, and they didn't try. And I didn't mind it. Like I thought I understand doing them, and especially because they have been doing something similar in the other two movies. So I didn't find them off-putting. I thought they were kind of cutesy, and so I didn't really mind the transitions. I think they did those pretty well, especially because like with the banners, you can't really do much. You have like a back color and then the color that the words are painted on. So that's really it. Like you have two things. But in like these transitions, you were able to like have pretty like fonts and like have like flowers blooming or wedding rings for the wedding, and stuff like that. And they were able to have different colors. So I thought that was really kind of cute.
I don't. They could have just not had the transitions at all. It would have been fine.
Yeah.
I
It's
think they were just
become
trying
kind of a
to.
hallmark of the series, but like
Yeah,
you
that's what I was
don't
gonna
need
say.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think after the first one, they didn't really need it, but because they did in the second one, they kind of felt obligated to put it in the third one. I don't know.
Now on to Peter drama. Peter needs help. Actually, no. Does he still need help? Maybe. He needed help throughout the movie, for sure. And maybe some therapy. But he ended up okay, I think.
Yeah.
The thing with his dad, I feel like the plot there was very shoddily constructed. It was like Rebecca kept bringing up in the reaction. She was like, did he reach out to the younger brother? Because Peter has a younger brother who's like middle school age, and we never know if he reached out. But yeah, that was kind of bad on the writer's part. Plus, like they didn't really develop the drama throughout the three movies. They just kind of mentioned it in the
Yeah.
first one, and then they kind of used it in the second one to feed into Jen's whole thing with like the parents' divorce. And then yeah, they just brought it back, and it seemed like they were bringing it back for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think
They could have
that
done better.
there were so many just unanswered questions in the beginning that it just made the whole thing feel kind of like weird. Like for example, when they talked, like I don't remember I don't know if I'll keep this in, but I remember when we were in the reaction, one of you guys, I think it was Rebecca, mentioned that it's like, oh, he's never reached out in the time that he's been gone, and all of a sudden he wants to talk to him. Like, what's the deal with that, right? And that makes sense, right? It's like it's a legitimate question to ask, and probably one that we would have seen Peter asking, but in the end, in the last scene with Peter and his dad, his dad mentions, oh, I know, sending a birthday card and leaving a voicemail once in a while isn't contact. I was like, well, why didn't you say that earlier? But all of us are under the assumption that it was just like radio silence, and now all of a sudden you pop back, which, I've seen it happen in movies before. But it's like, it seemed like if they had answered that kind of in the beginning, maybe it would have been easier to understand the dynamic between the two. Like, I don't know, but it just
Yeah.
I like how you put it, Shri. Like, it was just shoddily done. I also, you got to take into consideration that, he is in the middle of a major life change. College is a huge step in the future. He's moving away from his mom, his brother, everything he's ever known, right? And even he could have moved 10 minutes away. Yeah, the college could have been 10 minutes away, and he lived on campus. It's still so different. Even if he was at home, it's such a major life shift that he's kind of vulnerable to all of the fears that he's had previously because of his dad. And then multiply that by the fact that his dad is trying to show up,
not to mention the whole crap with Jen.
Yeah.
Semi, kind of stringing him along. Yeah. And just kind of being like, hey, wanting to be with him, but then not wanting to be with him. And I don't like Jen. They tried to redeem her in the last two movies, and it just did not work for me. I didn't hate her as much as I hated her in the first movie, but at the same time, it's like, stop. you're doing like a token effort of trying to make me like her more, and it's not working.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't do a good job redeeming her.
I don't think they were trying to make us like her. I think it was.
In this one, they totally were.
No, I don't think so. I think it was more like she's growing up.
So now I guess we can talk about the side characters, specifically Chris and Trevor. I don't know. I like them. I think it's
too.
very the whole on again, off again thing was kind of funny. It's kind of realistic as well. Like, and it provides like a nice what's it called? Sort of almost a foil to
Contrast.
yeah, that's what I meant, like a foil to Laura Jean and Peter's relationship because they've been like rock solid since like.
And not just that, it's like a break from the drama because their relationship is not supposed to be seen as very deep. It's supposed to be like a fun, shallow thing. And like Laura Jean and Peter are really serious. So in all of the drama parts, where they're taking it seriously and they're really down, and then you have Chris and Trevor being stupid. It's just like, okay, I can feel a little bit better. I'm not too sad now. I'm feeling a little bit better. I think that's part of it. But also, one thing I really wanted to talk about, and again, I'm not sure I'm going to leave this in the reaction, but I was really upset with Chris when it came for her to her in prom, because she was so insistent that she's gonna hate prom. She doesn't want anything to do with prom. All these school dances, and she's too good for that. And she's acting like that. And Trevor is, you can see he's being genuine. He's not he's not just faking it. Oh yeah, let's just go to prom for no reason.
They genuinely like each other.
Yeah, he's being serious, and he really wants to take her to prom and let her have an enjoyable time. And then she's being so rude about it. No, I'm not gonna have fun at prom. Even as they're walking into the prom, yeah, I'm not gonna have any fun here. And I felt.
And then she proceeds to have fun.
That was supposed to be more of a joke, because when she did do the dare thing, you could tell she did kind of want to go. And we do kind of see her opening up to more normal things, I guess.
Yeah.
Because in the first movie, I think it was the first movie itself that she went on the school ski trip because of Laura Jean.
But one thing I really wanted to say though, going back with Trevor, and I understand, and you can tell that she does want to go to prom, and she's and by the end, it was she's trying to convince herself that she's not going to have a good time. But if you say things enough times to somebody, even to yourself, you will believe it. And she's telling, for months and months on end, she's telling Trevor that she's not going to have a good time at prom. She's going to hate prom. She hates it. I hate all this stuff. Right? I felt so bad for Trevor because he's really trying to make it good for her. And she's throwing it in his face sometimes.
What would they have done if the chaperones had been there on time?
I think they were counting on the chaperones not being there on time. They were counting on it. I don't know.
The chaperones are always trash. I don't know what it is about that school, but their chaperones gotta shape up.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when they're going to places like New York.
And are 3,000 miles away from where they're from. Maybe you would think that's
or in a random hotel, by themselves in the lobby.
Yeah.
All right, so unorganized plotline. So this movie, I don't really know what it was about. I mean, if I think about it for 10 minutes, I might figure out what it was about. Oh yeah, it was about their relationship and her going to Stanford and then not going to Stanford and then wanting to go to NYU and then but then you also have Peter drama with his dad. Chris and Trevor. Oh, Jen shows up. Jen's nice now. What?
Jen's going to NYU?
Jen going to NYU.
Wait, Jen for some reason, but Jen also not being nice because she just randomly, like, insulted Chris's intelligence.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
they don't like each other.
Yeah, they didn't really like each other, and they grew up basically their whole lives like butting heads. It's gonna take a lot to. It's gonna take more than a year for you to suddenly stop.
Then at New York, like in New York City, they were like best friends. I was like,
I know. Yeah, I think it was just. I think honestly, New York was supposed to be like the catalyst that made them see that they were not that different. I think that, and that's why they became friends. And I think before they saw themselves as totally different, and they kept butting heads because once, as a kid, if you see you're different than, your cousin, and then you grow up and you might still think you're different, even though you're not as different as you think you are, and then you just butt heads for 18 years. 1 year's not going to change that.
I think that that might be that might be the best explanation we can find for that, at least. But yeah, there was so much stuff like that happening, and you never knew. Oh, and I didn't even mention the dad getting married.
Oh yeah,
Sabrina, that, and then Kitty's whole thing with the Korean boy.
Although that didn't last very long. Like,
it never really went anywhere.
It was the first scene in the middle of the movie, and that's it.
They got that together?
I'm not sure. I'm thinking that that's what they're saying, but I'm not sure.
There was no payoff on that.
Yeah.
He lives in Korea.
Yeah,
so
no, I thought where that was going to go is that we were going to get a subplot of her dating someone in the area, not like literally having a sort of pen pal in Korea.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. She just met some random guy on a bridge and
they exchanged numbers? Who
I
does
know,
that?
Yeah. It's just a stranger and you gave him your number. What are you thinking, girl? There's so many holes.
I think that's basically all. Yeah, there's too many holes. Nothing
it just felt very
disconnected.
Like, you had the running theme of they need to get their like college business put together, but like at the same time it was just like a bunch of random things happening while they were dealing with the college. It just felt pretty disconnected.
Yeah. And like, and I can understand having a whole bunch of things because, like I said, it's a big life change. So a lot of things happening on top. It's going to be stressful and stuff. But like, it just wasn't connected properly. Like, it could have been done so much better, and like, it would have made sense. But the way they did it, it just felt like it was just like disjointed. Like, all right, Peter and Laura Jean, not going to Stanford together. And then Peter's drama with his dad. And then dad's getting married. And then it was just like all over the place. It wasn't even like a slow slant and a slow slant down. It was more like horizontal line, space, horizontal line, space, horizontal line. And just, that's what it was.
Yeah. So you're talking about the very, hey, this is happening. That's part of like the transitions made it felt like kind of like a PowerPoint when you have a new section.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the spring break section. Oh, this is the wedding section. This is the prom section.
Yeah. And they didn't really move outside of it. Like, besides Peter and Laura Jean not going to college together, there wasn't really much overlap. Like, you had that like 1-2-minute conversation with Laura Jean about his dad, and that was it, right? She never really talked about it again. And then, we have the wedding story, right? And, besides that one section, then the only part, I think, besides the actual wedding is Peter saying, should I come to the wedding? That's the only overlap there, Most of these don't even overlap very, like, at all, So it's just, and that really contributed to it just being so disjointed.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I guess if those are our thoughts, I feel like that summed it up pretty well.
Yeah.
We can move on to.
I think the last thing I want to mention for that is the whole the wedding was nice, but anyone who's doing a backyard wedding, sorry, it's not going to look that nice. Like, backyard weddings are charming in a cozy family thing, not in a icicle lights from a tent ceiling and obviously fake grass.
Yeah, that was like golf
know?
class right there.
Yeah. Just saying, I fully support backyard weddings. I like them, but they don't look like that.
And also,
They have
really
a more
should have cleaned
rustic
up.
feel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
they
they
left
left
everything
candles
on.
going.
I
Like that
know.
is a fire
Maybe-
hazard.
Maybe they were
And like
flameless.
the implication
Maybe.
was that Kitty had just convinced him to
Or-
like come over there.
Or he had
And,
texted
like-
her like, I have a plan, get her out here. Right?
Yeah, or something. Which means that they totally should have tried to clean up at least a little.
But they didn't. Like, you could even see some of like the
At
cups
least-
just sitting there.
Blow out the candles. That's a fire hazard.
Yeah. You know that electricity bill is going to be
The
like
wedding was
sky
cute.
high.
The wedding was cute. I liked Henry. I've never like loved Margot. I did appreciate the whole like, oh, I'm not trying to take over your house, and she's like, oh yeah, no, that's fine. I appreciated that, but at the same time, it felt like another thing that was just kind of thrown in there along with Kitty.
Yeah. They really
So-
should have done so much more with that.
Yeah, I guess we can move on to relatability, overall of Laura Jean and of the whole movie. I know you guys could not relate to her more.
Oh,
I could relate to her more though. I definitely felt like I could finally relate to a lot more
I can see
some of
that
the stuff
though.
she said.
In the whole
Yeah,
movie,
you're definitely the most outgoing of the three of us.
There was one thing she did. I was like, what?
it was the
The thing
dancing.
at prom?
Yeah.
The dancing at
Like,
prom? I was like, nah, that's not me.
I know. I think
I
that was
think
the line.
this-
All of us were like, nah, that's not us.
Yeah, no.
Most of this
But,
movie, I couldn't do any of what she was doing. Like, I just couldn't see
Yeah.
myself relating at all. And then,
I think what it is it's a result of her being like, she and Chris kind of became popular by proximity
Mhm.
to Peter
Peter.
and Trevor.
Yeah.
And so that's a result from them hanging around and being popular.
I also think that it's supposed to be, and I think they mentioned in the first movie where Josh is like, you can't just keep writing love letters. You know, you have to tell people how you feel when you feel them, right? And so I think this is supposed to be the culmination of she's kind of broken out of her shell, but like at the same time, maybe you should step a little bit back, because I don't know if stealing a couch from somebody is a good way to start off your time
but
in
it
New
was
York.
their couch at first, and then the
It
other
wasn't
dude took it.
her
I thought that was
her
funny.
couch. I can understand if it was like even her couch, but she's helping random people steal a couch from another random person. Like,
Okay. But sometimes you just have
I
those
couldn't
late night
even go to the
adventures.
party because, like, they were breaking so many rules.
I know, that's what
And
I was
going-
thinking too.
Like what?
Like going out
Because
kind of
they-
after
there was a
curfew.
curfew.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I wouldn't break the curfew on a school trip, but like if I was just in New York, like if I was, going
they
on a
could've gone
campus tour
If
at
I was
NYU,
in-
I would totally go.
I couldn't.
I don't think I would have gone either.
I couldn't go to a party. I couldn't go to a party.
I don't know what this whole thing like was, because like they went to so many different parts of Manhattan, and
How
I
do
was
they
like,
have the money for
are
this?
they allowed to get around like that far?
Yeah.
Like within such a broad area? How do they check in with their chaperone? Like,
Well,
what?
Yeah.
some check-ins
Like, I
you did
understand
like,
it
by
if-
text. That's
Because, like,
everything.
even if they're all,
Like,
yeah,
like,
but they
you're-
no, they don't.
18
Mandatory
or
to take a
almost, even if they're all 18 or almost there, it's still a high school trip where they expect you, like, if you're given any amount of freedom, it's in
You
a
have-
much more enclosed area, like at Disney, where there
Yeah.
are guards everywhere. it makes more sense. You're in an enclosed area where there's like already restrictions on who gets in there.
Yeah.
And then also you have guards and people around. And then like letting you split off into groups makes sense. But in a city?
Yeah.
In New York?
Our county doesn't even let you go into a hotel pool. You're not allowed to use the hotel pool.
Yeah, you're not allowed to use the hotel pool.
Like, that's... And then you can, like, you can take the subway to, like, the Bronx if you want. You know, or... What's the furthest thing from Manhattan? I know the Bronx, that's what I said. What would be the furthest thing from Manhattan?
Staten
I don't know New York that well.
Long Island, I guess.
Okay, Long Island. All right, we say Long Island. You know, you can just take as far away as possible. Like that just. Okay.
You could actually.
And then,
go
how
to New
bad
Jersey.
were these chaperones that they just had like kids just leaving without noticing?
I mean,
and they were even talking about these chaperones
the problem
getting
we have
drunk.
with the chaperones.
I don't know.
These have to be the worst chaperones ever.
Well, I mean, if we didn't establish that from the ski trip. I mean.
True. Now we are moving on to our final question. Was this movie really memorable? Because we talked about how memorable the first one was. We talked about how much we love and commemorate? No, not commemorate. Fondly remember the second one. Are we doing that with this one?
I don't think so.
Not really. I just watched it. We just watched it last night, and
I don't remember most of it.
I'm blanking on some parts of it.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things...
I straight up forgot the dad got married, guys.
That's kind of important. No, I didn't remember until like 15 minutes ago that we had that whole yearbook plot line too. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, the yearbook.
See, that's what I'm saying. I didn't remember that until like 15 minutes ago.
And that was their connection to the love letters of the previous movie.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh my god. And she didn't actually write a love letter in the end. She just did the picture. It was cute.
Yeah.
But like, isn't the love letters her thing?
Yeah.
As well?
And he wrote the love letter and the contract.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think
that was cute. Like,
no, yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, if that's her thing, like, what happened?
I guess maybe, like, kind of justifying it is, like, you establish again and again, he's not the writer of the two of them. So, like, him managing to write that is, like,
the romantic
some character growth and, like, romantic thing.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it.
That's what I'm thinking it is. That makes honestly, that makes the most sense. But I was also going to say is that I think a lot of people were, because it's the end of a trilogy and like the end of like a famous trilogy for like Netflix, you would think that it's supposed to be like the grand finale. And it was more like the grand letdown. Like it was
kind of the grand fizzling out.
I like that grand fizzling out.
It wasn't, for me, like, I wasn't like, oh, this movie is such a disappointment. It was more just a,
meh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's just...
like, I can honestly say I enjoyed the first two movies. This one was okay.
Yeah. I think most people, like, if you rewatch this movie, it'll be just for, like, nostalgia's sake. Like, I liked the first two movies, and I'm just gonna put up with this third one just because I like the first two.
Yeah. I was actually talking to another friend last night who also watched the third movie, and she said at first, when she first started watching it, she texted me, "To All the Boys I Loved Before 3 is so cute." 1 hour later, never mind, it's kind of cringe. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts as well. It's not quite cringe, I would say, for me, but it's just not.
It's not what I wanted it to be. Yeah, it was not, it did not hit the bar, and it was just meh. Like,
It was poorly written.
yeah.
That's really what it was throughout the whole thing. It was just bad writing. I don't know who the writers are. I don't know if they changed them. I don't know if the writers just got tired of doing this for 3 movies.
Done with this.
Yeah. I don't know what happened, but
So I think our
it just
fears
didn't
basically
work.
came true from the first review. If you guys
I mean,
watched
I thought
that,
it would be bad. I was afraid it would be bad. This wasn't bad.
I didn't think it was going to be bad. I was expecting this. I was expecting it to be
Okay.
meh. And if I'm being honest, like if you guys haven't seen that review, like we made some predictions about what we thought the third one was going to be. So check that out. But one of the things that I said was that the third book had almost felt like it was just grafted on to finish the story, like a really long epilogue. This didn't even hit that level. Like, it was just little itty bitty pieces. Like, you know, like you have like cartoon strips, like 3 panels, and then like you have the next, like, and then like in the newspapers you'll have like a 3-panel comic strip, and then the next week you'll have like another 3 panels. It may be connected, it may not be connected. I don't know. This was like that. So it was even worse than
I
like
like that
grafted on
comparison.
long epilogue.
Yeah, that's a great analogy for this
Thank you.
third movie. Any other final thoughts?
I like the series as a whole. This is not my favorite movie of the series.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would say that out of the first 2, which one is my favorite, but I can tell you that this one is not. I'm not going to say it's bad, but I didn't enjoy it like I enjoyed the first 2.
Just final thoughts for me. I don't think I would like want to rewatch it. Like I could see myself being like, you know what, I want to watch the second movie, or even the first movie also. But I don't see myself being like, I want to. You know, I just really feel like watching the third movie. You know, I don't see myself doing that. I feel like it's just most of people watching
I
this
feel
are going to
like
be
if I
like,
would
I'm
had
here.
to, if I ended up rewatching this, it would be in a, oh, I'm rewatching 1 and 2. Might as
Yeah.
well
Yeah.
watch the third one as
Yeah,
well.
that's
Kind of
exactly what
context.
I was gonna say. It's most of the people who watch this movie are gonna be like, I watched the first 2, I might as well finish it off.
Yeah, and I think that sums up our final thoughts pretty well. This was an okay movie, you know, fine.
There.
Didn't
I
live up to the
expected it.
hype though.
I expected that, but I was still kind of hoping it to exceed my expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We set the bar pretty low for the third movie. Oh, I want to say pretty low in the sense that like we expected it to be bad, but we had like lot lower expectations, and they didn't even hit that really. Let's be honest. So at least
Yeah.
for me, I can't speak for you guys. So
Yeah, me neither.
It pretty much hit my expectations.
Yeah, no, I was expecting more from it. I expected at least what I got from the book, which is like a grafted on part of the story. But I didn't even get that. So, I don't know. But anyways.
Yeah, well, I guess there you have it, our review of To All the Boys I've Loved Before, Always and Forever. If you like this video, it's the third one, by the way. If you like this video, and you haven't watched the other ones, like I said in the beginning, go check them out over here in the eye. We have a playlist set up for you, so you can just go through all of our videos. If you haven't seen our reaction, that's in there too. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, you know, all the things. And leave a comment below.
How did you
Saying if you.
I mean, because we talked
Sorry.
about how you felt about the movie in general and the reaction. So just tell us, how did this meet your expectations for the last, you know, firecracker grand finale of the To All the Boys series? Did it meet it? Did it not? Was it memorable?
leave it in the comments below. And make sure you also check out our Instagram. That's also, I was about to say link in the bio. No, it's in the description box. I'm sorry. So check that out. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos.
Yes, we're starting
Yeah.
with an Indian movie next. Finally.
Finally.
Getting to it.
We were gonna do it for Valentine's Day, but we ended up pushing it off.
Yep, for To All the Boys.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
we're finally doing the Indian movie, so stay tuned for that. All right, guys, that's it for this video.
Thanks,
yeah.
fan.
Thanks, fan.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.
Bye, guys.